Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, just want to make a quick little announcement. I got to step back for this one. Carter was wrong. Finally, it's about time. One of his predictions were completely false. And now he can stop bragging about every single one of his predictions being correct because the Titans traded for Julio Jones. Carter, a couple episodes ago, was completely going off the rails about how Julio was going to the Patriots. And he said, watch it happen. Watch, bet, watch. Curry's going to MVP too. Watch. No, denied. Boom, roasted. Finally, I get to actually brag about something for once. And Carter has zero comeback for this because he's just wrong. He's wrong.
I mean, yeah, my prediction was wrong. I thought he would go to the Patriots. He didn't go to the Patriots.
Oh, it's a great day, ladies and gentlemen. No, but in all seriousness, the Titans did pick up Julio Jones, which is absolutely huge. And we'll obviously be talking about it. But we have Colton back on for the episode. So welcome back, Cole.
Yay.
And also, Cole actually recently just graduated high school and is going to St. Mary's. So that is awesome. So congratulations.
Thank you.
But he also has Carter and him apparently have a story that I am unaware of at the current moment. So they're going to talk about that for a little bit and then we'll get started. So one of you two go ahead and roll straight into it.
So originally I had to be the chauffeur for my parents because they were going down to a concert and obviously they were not going to drink and drive. So I was being the designated driver because I don't drink. Haha. Anyway, me and my date went to State of Confusion, got some good old burgers, and then took my parents finally to the concert because they went out to eat, and then they were far from where the concert was, so we took them over there. Mm-hmm. We parked at where the Edwin Hotel is in downtown Chattanooga, and walked across the bridge, took a left, hit that good old ice cream shop named Clumpy's, which my boy Carter works at here.
Facts. I'll pull up Clumpy's North Shore. I'll serve you some ice cream.
I'm already full from these burgers, right? So I was like, I'm only going to get a single, one scoop of ice cream. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to get some mint chocolate chunk. And my date got the exact same thing, one scoop of mint chocolate chunk. I don't know why I picked that one. I was just in mood for that one that day. And we get up there and we order, I get ice cream, tip the people because, it's Carter's job. You should tip the people. I know.
Facts, you should tip the people.
Yeah. So of course I paid for my date because that would be very ungentlemanlike. And we get to the end and Carter's like, good to see you. I was like, good to see you too. And he goes like, he looks at my date and goes like, here's your ice cream. And it was, a single scoop of mint chocolate chunk. And then he goes like, I'll be right back with yours. And so I'm like, waiting for a minute or two. And he comes back with these 6 scoops. I have a great picture of it too. Of these 6 scoops just stacked on stacked. I think I lost count. It may have been 7. But there was it was dripping down the sides. I was unable to handle the whole thing. I didn't even finish it. I ate as much as I could because I don't like wasting things. And then my date obviously helped me try and take the 6 ice creams. But we couldn't do it. And Carter was just like, here's your 1 scoop of ice cream. And I'm sitting there like, this is not 1 scoop.
It was definitely not 1 scoop.
I was like, what kind of spoon did you use to scoop that with?
I gave Cole a quad. Which
no. You gave me a septuple or something.
It wasn't that many scoops. It just seemed like a lot. But it was definitely a lot of scoops. I could have put way more on there. I could have gotten a Sunday bowl and stacked so much ice cream. But I don't know. I didn't want to steal from the company too bad. But the main point of this video, I was wrong on my prediction. I was wrong. Julio, he did not go to the Patriots, unfortunately. It would have been great to see, but no. He went to the Tennessee Titans. Do I think it's going to change the Titans' playoff chances? No, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I still think they're going to go to the playoffs. I still don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yep.
I don't. Okay, well, here's my take on it. The Titans' offense has definitely improved, and here's why. The main point is people don't think about the secondary ways you can use Julio Jones with that offensive scheme. There are a lot of power back formations with that offense, correct? So your main player on offense is Derrick Henry. Everybody in the league knows that. When the team clamps Derrick Henry, that team resorts to passing. You've got AJ Brown, who is already a stud. AJ Brown is so good, so good. You've already got him as a target. You have to lock him up too. Last season, you had Corey Davis, but you don't have him anymore. So they take Corey Davis, trade him away. They receive Julio Jones. Julio Jones is one of the best receivers to ever play the game of football. And I don't think he's washed, personally. He's just had a bad career in Atlanta. I really don't think he's washed. And so you put him on this Titans offense, and he gets targeted. Now the defense is going to have to worry about two things. They're going to have to worry about the passing game and the running game. You can use Julio Jones as a distraction so that main of their secondary will go for Julio. Then you can start running with Derrick Henry. Or the opposite, where you use Derrick Henry as the distraction and then use your two other primary receivers as a dominant way down the field. And Julio Jones is just incredible. So I really think that the Titans already had a very solid shot at making the playoffs. I have already thought that. But I think now with Julio, their chances of winning have just gone way higher. I'm not saying it's Super Bowl level, but I'm definitely taking them as a possible AFC Championship contender. That's my take.
Well, I'll elaborate on my opinion more. Cole, you'll get to talk eventually, don't worry. But I think what Andrew said is perfect in the way that he's just going to be another weapon for the Titans offense. But the thing I'm concerned with is their defense, not their offense. They would have been fine without Julio.
Yeah.
But it's their offense. Their defense. It's their defense. It's always their defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Now, I will say they did use draft picks very well, and they drafted defense. The problem is they took a corner in the first round, which I don't know why they did, but they did.
Secondary ain't their problem.
Secondary is not their problem.
It's their problem. It's not their biggest problem.
Exactly.
Anyways, Cole, sorry.
And I was just gonna say the problem is the middle part of the field. They're 4-3.
Yeah. Right? All right.
Cole, your take?
I feel it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the Titans are a first round, a wild card out, personally.
Wow. A wild card out?
It depends on which team they play. If they play a team with a good offense, then you're just screwed because you don't have a defense to defend that. And you're just going to have a Cowboys at Falcons shootout that they did in week 4, where it just came down to who scored the most and what offense could score the most. But that's my only issue with the Titans at this point, along with their defense. And again, the secondary, I don't even think was the issue. I feel it was the pass rush.
Exactly.
You can make an average quarterback a superstar quarterback if you have a good old line and can protect them. And if you don't, and then vice versa for the defense, if you don't have anyone rushing the quarterback's got all this time to keep looking, and then the secondary eventually runs out of gas and can't guard all these great people.
Thanks.
So choosing a corner in the first round was not my ideal scenario for the Titans, and I still, I don't think the Titans are making it to the AFC Championship personally. But again, I don't have the best predictions, so I'm not like Carter, but
not for this one, but in general terms, he is the better player.
And then to jump on their offense with Julio, I think their offense is fantastic, but if we look at Derrick Henry, I don't think Derrick Henry is going to have as big of a year as he did last year. Personally, because this has happened before in the league where they've had such a dominant, there's been one super dominant, just power rusher for a team. And that power rusher had 2 great seasons, and then teams started figuring them out. And then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't remember his name because he just disappeared off the face of the earth. So I don't think that'll happen with Derrick Henry having the 2 wide receivers, but I just don't think he'll be as dominant, which means they'll have to use Julio, and I think it'll still be a great offense, top 5 for sure.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is I don't even disagree with both of y'all's opinions because they're very similar. But I will say, I feel like their AFC Championship levels have gone up, not completely. My take for my dark horse pick is the Browns personally, but that's just me. And I think that the Titans have a really good offense. But here's the point. Last season, their defense was even worse last season than it will be this year. Their defense was like historically worse on third downs. Here's the thing. The Titans still managed to win as many games as they did with that offense and still have that horrendous defense. And while they did have a super dominant offense last season, and people are saying that Julio Jones isn't the biggest addition, while he's not the biggest that you could have possibly made, it is a very, very large investment into a player and a position, into an offense that is already so dominant by itself. Their offense won them games last season. That is the reason why they won games. If their offense was bad, they would have been a Jets 2.0. And that, I think that's a pretty standard thing that a lot of people can agree with. The Titans defense is only going to get better. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully. It's only going to get better. They improved on their offense even more. So what I'm saying is, if they won as much as they did last season with an offense without Julio Jones and their defense was still bad, I feel like their chances of winning games this season has increased, both because they invested in a super large weapon on offense and they went and improved their defense over the draft. I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated because there's teams like the Bucks who have the number one offense in the league still. And there's other underdog teams. Like, we don't know what the rookies can do. Like, Mac Jones could take over the AFC. That's a really bold pick.
Big doubt.
But
no.
There is a potential for it. We just don't know. We don't know. The thing with the Titans is that I feel like their record could be fairly certain. They're definitely going to have a winning season, I feel like. And I feel like the Julio just gives the offense so much more options. And now with this super experienced receiver, and you've got a pretty old quarterback and a really good running back who I personally think he won't have as good of. I agree with Cole that I don't think he'll have as great as a season as last year. I still think he's going to have the rushing title, but just not as good of a season as last season. But you've got this offense who can basically work on their own. Your main focus now for the season is going to be that defense. And as long as your defense improves and your offense stays the same as last year, I think you're good. I think you can win a ton of games.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think they'll have a winning season for sure. But I mean, once you get to which I think they'll win their division for sure. It just comes down to who you play in the AFC Championship game. Like, I feel as if they're going to lose to the Ravens again if it were to come down to that, just because they don't have a good 4-3. I feel like just any people who have any team that has a really good O-line, you're just not going to win against.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, basically, with that defense being able to win games. So, like, the Browns you're going to lose to. Chiefs, obviously. Chargers, you might have a decent shot. But, I mean, it's a flip of a coin, basically, whether you're going to move on or not.
Well, the thing with the Julio trade is my concern about the Julio trade is, think of a team in football. You don't see, okay, you know the Brooklyn Nets, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of superstars that work good together. Name a team in football that have a lot of superstars at the same position that works good together.
I mean, the only team I could think of at the current moment would be the Bucks.
Yeah.
But otherwise than that,
I think what's going to happen is A.J. Brown is still going to be the favorite target. I think A.J. Brown will still be the main target of Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry will still be the main weapon. But I think Derrick Henry, bold move, won't win the rushing title next year. Because I think it'll go to Nick Chubb.
I wouldn't doubt it. Because the Ravens figured out how to beat him, and look how that offense collapsed. Hopefully, with the addition of Julio, they're able to survive more without Henry as a distraction.
Yeah.
But look at how they collapsed without being able to use Henry and be able to run with him. Like, that is the weakness of the Tennessee Titans, and I think teams can definitely exploit that if they know how. And I think teams are definitely going to find a way to. So I think the Julio trade makes the offense more diverse, and then the way they can move people around, and then the way they can be independent without Henry. But I still think they rely on Derrick Henry too much, and I still think that's their weakness.
Yeah. I mean, and you've seen teams take over Derrick Henry before. Derrick Henry can be stopped. It's not like he's Jim Brown or Bo Jackson, not yet anyways. And he can be stopped. And we saw multiple times Titans losses either come from A, horrendous defense, or B, you stop Derrick Henry, and then the whole offense just doesn't know what to do. because Derrick Henry gives them so much confidence. And that's the main thing that offense focuses on is confidence and momentum. You stop the confidence momentum from Derrick Henry, nobody knows what to do on that offense. No one. And it cripples. And I think that I completely agree with Carter's opinion. You put Julio Jones. Hopefully that makes the offense more diverse. And it hopefully gives Tannehill more options when Derrick Henry does get stopped. So that way we don't have to see the Tennessee Titans offense collapsing every time Derrick Henry gets stuck behind the line.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still on the edge with this offense too, just because they did get rid of Jonnu Smith, and I guess their tight end is Anthony Ferkser. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one.
I like Ferkser. I think
but it's kind of I don't know how I feel about him. He's it's kind of like the Patriots tight end before they got the two, like that Ryan Izzo guy.
Yeah,
but
the homie Ryan.
That's how I feel. I didn't feel like he was even great, and it with the departure of him and Corey Davis, it added more targets for Julio. I don't think they did they just kind of did a flip flop with that. So now they don't have to worry about their tight end as much, and they can focus more on Julio too. And then I want to go into what they got for the pick. They traded a second and a fourth round for Julio and a sixth. The only bad part about it is that they also took in the full contract of Julio.
Yeah.
Where now they can't do basically anything.
Yeah, did they give up too much?
I don't know how I personally don't think he should have gone to the Titans. Out of all, I don't think he should have gone to the Patriots at all, but the Titans definitely not.
Who do you think you should have gone to? And don't say the Broncos.
No, I don't. I wasn't going to say the Broncos. That's the least of the Broncos' concerns right now is another wide receiver. But I think I don't know. Just someone that has enough money to hang on to that. Someone with a ton of cap space. Because now the Titans just don't have any cap space. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
So now they're stuck with that defense unless they make some cap moves, which then destroys something else.
Stop the cap.
So personally,
Okay.
not the best.
But okay, so I get your point. I thought the teams he would go to were either the Patriots or the Seahawks. I could definitely see the Seahawks.
I don't.
But I could see the point with the cap also. The reason the Patriots didn't – there was interest in Julio, but the reason I think the Patriots didn't go for him is the Falcons wanted the other team to pay off his entire salary, basically. And I don't think the Patriots were up to that for an aging Julio. He's not – I think he's not in his prime. He's definitely not, done. He still has a lot of football to play and still easy a top 3, top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. But I think he's definitely past his prime personally. Maybe on the waning side of it. And I don't know if the Patriots thought it was worth it. We signed some big targets this offseason. And I guess we just didn't go for it, which it's fine.
Yeah.
I ain't crying over it. I would have been lit to see. But I still wish we would sign Antonio Brown back.
Right. And
still wish we would sign Antonio Brown back, but we ain't getting him back.
No, he's staying with the Bucks. He wants another Super Bowl win.
But yes, bro. Stupid. Why can't we just
think
Brown?
I think he should have gone to Jacksonville or the Chargers.
Who, Antonio Brown?
No.
Julio.
Oh, Jacksonville or the Chargers? I could see the Chargers. Dude, that would be scary.
I could see the Chargers.
If he goes to the Chargers, I immediately put him in Super Bowl possibility.
Okay, I want to go that far. But
I would put him in making it.
I still want to put him in that.
Yeah, I would put him in playoff contention.
Yeah, I'd say playoff contention because I think Justin Herbert is. I think Joe Burrow will be the best quarterback to come out of that draft class, but I think Justin Herbert will be like the Aaron Rodgers to Joe Burrow's Tom Brady, like really close in contention in the conversation.
I agree with that.
Because I think Justin Herbert is a legit quarterback, and I also think Joe Burrow is though. But it is what it is. Julio went to the Titans. My prediction for the first time ever basically was wrong. Yep. Andrew made me hear about it. Yeah.
Yep.
We literally talked about it. I was like, this morning when we were playing Xbox, or this afternoon really, because I woke up at 1:00. We're not going to talk about why though. He was like, I'm like, oh, you're not going to hear the end of this. And I was like, yeah.
I was a little bit excited because Carter's picks are most of the time 100% correct, and it bothers me, right? It bothers me because
God.
And some of my picks are completely underrated. Like my dark horse pick in the third episode of this podcast, I chose the Suns to be the dark horse of the NBA. Literally beat the Lakers in the first round, and they're in their playoffs and they're doing really well. So it was good to hear news that Carter's pick was actually wrong. But it doesn't really matter in the end. The point is,
I mean, yeah, we're doing more prediction episodes. Actually, the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight is literally happening as we talk right now,
isn't it? Yeah.
So, our prediction could come true right now. I mean, either way, one of our predictions is going to come true.
Facts.
We have a 100% chance of getting the correct prediction. But I'm literally checking Instagram right now. They have. I don't think they've actually started fighting yet. But it's tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But any final words, Cole? Cole, who do you have winning the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul fight?
Facts.
Personally, Mayweather, but
I had Floyd. I mean, I had Logan.
I think Logan's a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna have to end it now. We're gonna go discuss this after this episode is over. But
anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank y'all so much for watching this episode. Hopefully, my prediction comes right again with the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. But it was wrong this time. Andrew, congratulations. You finally got a prediction right. Yay. I'm proud of you. Cole, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Have a great rest of y'all night.
See ya.
Bye-bye.